So hello guys, welcome to our second part mini vlog.
Hello people, we're off on travels today. Don't know where, we'll find out when we get there.
तो आज का व्यू दिखाएंगे थार तब बाहर का, ठीक है? कहाँ
It's
जाएंगे?
a very hot day today, very hot. Hence why Sawan and me are in shorts.
चेक कर सकते हो.
Legs, I have legs.
बहुत ज़्यादा नाइस अच्छा बात रो रखा है एक नंबर का धूप निकली हुई है
So we'll show you little clips of where we've been and how pretty it is when we get there.
व्यू चेक करो, धूप निकली हुई है बढ़िया.
Wherever we go, we just sort
Here to the coast and then turning left and then making our way up through Northumberland. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take us down through Newcastle, or the outskirts of Newcastle, onto Hadrian's Wall and go past Segadinum Fort, which is the at Wall's End, the end of the wall. And then we'll make our way through some of the industrial parts of North Tyneside before we hit the coast.
लो भाई बस में बैठ गए हैं तो दिखाएंगे बाहर का व्यू सारा थार ताज जहाँ जहाँ रुकेंगे.
Usually it's really busy here, but of course being a bank holiday, it's schools to take bodies from prisons or workhouses and hospitals if they weren't claimed within 48 hours. But of course, when that was designed, it was with the this was before the passing of the
बाहर का व्यू
Nazi
है सारा
Act,
यो
1832. But of course, by the time it was built in 1836,
Newcastle में.
then bodies could be taken, but that didn't mean to say that bodies still weren't as Newcastle here. We're about 7 miles from the coast. Just made our way down to
शॉपिंग सेंटर है यहाँ का.
mainly the
बहुत ही बड़ा शॉपिंग
building of
सेंटर.
railways and shipbuilding, and we'll go to some of the Wall's End yards very soon. I think
Hadrian's Wall.
it may have been
That's
castellated at the
Hadrian's
top.
Wall.
Historians
Old wall.
will argue whether it was or not. It may have been
about the
painted
castle.
red or even white. This huge structure to frighten the locals. And of course, here on the left-hand side, it's not Roman.
Hadrian's
That's a
Wall.
17th century pit, coal pit, straight down the
बहुत
ground.
पुरानी वॉल
On
है
our
भाई
right
यहाँ
hand
दीवार.
side is, so we're actually going through the middle of the fort. So this is the end of the Roman Empire. The viewing platform there in the shape of a ship's bridge on our right hand side, right next to what was Swan Hunter shipbuilding. Swan Hunter shipbuilders, you can see the clock there, and if you look down to your right hand side you can see the entrance to what was Swan Hunters. Swan Hunters built thousands and thousands of ships. Possibly the most famous would be the Mauritania.
You see it now, we're going to turn left.
So you can see why I wanted to come down this way rather than the roads. As you can see on the right hand side there is the Shields ferry. It's known as the Shieldsman or the Shieldsman. That travels every 15 minutes between South and North Shields. The pub here on the left hand side looks derelict, but it's actually a music venue in there. Very good. And you can see some of the old dry docks here on our right hand side for ship repairs. This is used to be Smith Docks ship repairers. You can see the shape of the ships there, and they would be emptied of the water to allow repairs of ships. Just see the ferry landing there, the blue girders on the south side there. We'll travel along the quayside here. The North Shields ferry landing is on our right hand side. See this now known as Collingwood Mansions. If anybody's ever been in the Royal Navy or the Merchant Navy, they might have heard of the Jump buildings. Are actually smokehouses for kippers. So herring was gutted, and then been to India. The Empress of India statue in Mumbai. They used the same cast for this one here in Tynemouth. We are lucky to be in Tynemouth at this time because, again, it's going to be extremely busy later on today. A lot of Victorian houses on both sides of the street here. Tynemouth itself was founded in 800 AD by Vikings. It's one of the reasons why the dialect here on the northeast coast is so distinct, because of that Viking influence. Straight ahead is Tynemouth Priory and Castle. Tynemouth Priory was founded in the 7th century in Anglo-Saxon Benedictine Priory. It subsequently had a castle extended onto it, followed. Yeah, the water does look very inviting there on the right hand side. It was in use as a self-defence installation with anti-aircraft guns in both the First and Second World War. And you can see the Coast Guard station to the right hand side if you look at the front there, looking out to sea. And this area, of course, has been an area that's been touched by war since the Roman invasion. Everybody breathe in. The ships offshore there are just waiting on the tide to turn, and then the pilot boats will bring them in into the River Tyne. On the left-hand side here, you can see some beautiful Victorian buildings, very expensive. I mean, a flat in there is over £300,000 for a one-bedroom flat.
Jeez.
Tynemouth Long Sands here on our right-hand side.
This beach how full busy. I can drop there.
I do believe the surfing championships are going to be held at Tynemouth this year. Certainly not today. On the left-hand side is the Grand Hotel, originally built as the summer residence for the Duchess of Northumberland in 1832, but she never took up residence, and it subsequently became a hotel. One of the famous people that I haven't mentioned is a man called Arthur Stanley Jefferson. You might not have heard the name Arthur Stanley Jefferson, but I'm quite sure you'll have heard the name of Stan Laurel. Stan Laurel was born in Ulverston, Cumbria, but moved to North. Oswin, who was a 6th century Anglo-Saxon king who was murdered in 634. Osred, who was another Northumbrian king who was murdered in 729. There's a pattern here, isn't there? And then Malcolm III of Scotland was also buried there following the Battle of Alnwick. The area here on our right hand side is known as King Edward's Bay. That's Edward I.
That's one.
Longshanks. Edward I was 6'2" tall. Also known, unfortunately, as Howard the Scots, and of course devastation in Wales as well. Edward II, his son, he continued his wars against the Scots. In his illusion, this is going to be extremely busy today. On our left-hand side is St George's Church. That's the start of Cullercoats. So this small fishing village, Cullercoats here, mainly a small fishing village with bushes. Again, that's the remains of one of the many railway systems here in the northeast, all to do with coal mining and the excavation of coal. We're at least 5-6 miles from Whitley Bay, and we're just coming into Seaton Sluice. Now, before we say anything, just look forward to your right. You can just see what's this tiny little village here known as Old Harley. Very little of it remains now, but we had 2 shore batteries of 2 12-inch guns here on your right-hand side from 1917 to 1926. And there is a rumour, I say it's probably more than a rumour, but it's still, long, sandy, flat beaches, ideal landing grounds for any invaders. And we've seen that since Roman times with the Vikings as well, and the Anglo-Saxons, and the Picts, and the Celts. So you can see there on the right hand side of what remains of Blythe Battery. They had 6-pounder guns, rapid fire 6-pounder guns. They have been used in anger, both against initially designed to deter fast torpedo boats, German fast torpedo boats. What we're going to do is, rather than go through Blythe, we're going to turn left here. So if you get your compasses out, we're going to turn left, which is west, and now we'll make our way to coal only. And yet, on your left-hand side, you can see a passenger train. And only this year they've opened up this line, which meant that many of the old pit villages here at the Hawksley Nature Reserve.
Very, very narrow road this. This way he's got to stop. You won't get a bus and a car past. Lovely houses. They're all farm buildings.
Which side is they stop? C car.
Yeah, he's had to go over there, the cars, to let the bus through.
Check these houses.
And that's the lakes he's on about. It's reclaimed land, which are now havens for wildlife. It's where all wildlife is.
Because we have set off a little bit early and to hire out. Very pleasant. As I say, the sea's just over there. There, I think. Those windows have been made smaller to allow.
बाहर का व्यू चेक कर लो भाई, सारा का सारा मार्केट लगी हुई है, गर्मी हो रखी है पूरी। तो बस में तो बाहर निकल लिया अभी, और बस के बाहर बस में बैठ कर व्यू दिखाया था। चेक करो वैदर में, यहाँ के लोग है ना, बड़ा वैदर मतलब धूप निकला ना, जब भी बढ़िया वैदर होगा तो बंदे बाहर निकला अपने डॉग्स वगैरह एनिमल लेगा ना, शॉर्ट्स में निकर में, और बढ़िया एंजॉय। See this sneaker.
Bit short for him. Once I got along there.
Beach area सारा सारा। बंदे ना पूरा जम्मू में एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, चिल धूप का आनंद ले रहे हैं, वॉकिंग। थारी भाभी ने देख लो, मैं भी शॉर्ट्स डाल कर रखा हूँ। चेक करो, ये फिश सोप है, कच्ची मछली मिला पूरा, जूते। सेंट लेने लग रही है परफ्यूम।
I don't know, you like that.
This one are nice.
You like that one as well? I put it on by there.
Don't put clothes. This one are nice.
You want that one as well? Right, we'll take this one.
I'll do that one a bit cheaper because it's the last one.
खर्चा कर दिया, घर भाभी ने परफ्यूम ले लिया। तो भाई साहब हॉलीडे पजामा का मज़ा आ रखा है, पूरा एक नंबर का एंजॉय। पिक्चर कहते हैं लग रही है, व्यू चेक करो। समर में है ना, बस बाहर घूमने निकल जाओ, यहाँ का यही सीन है। चेक करो। Where we going?
I don't know if that one's open.
Pub?
Yeah.
This out there.
Yeah, I don't know if that
This one not open. Check this side.
We'll go right there.
निक्कर बैठियाँ गोरियाँ।
You're not picking us up till 12:30. You've got plenty of time for 8 pounds.
भीतर दुकान में बढ़ रही है, पता नहीं क्या लेगी। What you like?
I was looking for a fridge magnet.
फ्रिज मैग्नेट। छोटी छोटी दुकान, छोटी छोटी मार्केट है यहाँ।
That's more like your sort of culture, isn't it?
Yeah. This like how you can put there these things. Never mind.
We can't. Don't do fridge magnets. No,
There's really all that.
Whiskey, wine, no, I don't like. सो गाइस ब्लॉग का कर दे हैं दी एंड। ठीक है, ये सेकंड पार्ट रहेगा हमारा ब्लॉग का ट्रैवलिंग का। इसमें हमने दिखाया है कि बस में ट्रैवलिंग करते हुए बाहर का व्यू सारा कुछ। ठीक है, तो मिलते हैं थर्ड पार्ट में। सो ऐसे ऐसे मिनी ब्लॉग देखने के लिए चैनल को करो सब्सक्राइब। ब्लॉग बढ़िया लगा तो चैनल करो सब्सक्राइब और शेयर। मिलते हैं थर्ड पार्ट में। ओके।